my inner being.
Hello and welcome. It is Monday, and we have Patrick Hopkins back with me for another Queery Helpline, where we're raising money for reproductive rights. Just because the elections are over doesn't mean that the fight is over.
It continues.
A long way to go. And also, we want to help other writers and give back to the community and see if we can get their foot in the door. So
the most important
Patrick
part
had
of,
words he wanted to
I
share.
have many words. I have so many words. I think in paragraphs. Okay, so first of all, voting is a very, very temporary thing. The
And
biggest thing you can do, it is a one-time thing. The entire rest, okay, 1 in 700 or whatever many days between every two elections, right? Every 2 years elections. 760 something days during which you can't vote. Do everything else, okay? I have friends who have lobbied actual members of Congress. They've been in the office with the candidate, right? They keep on getting in there. They refuse to be ignored. Okay, they get results. Not always great. They're not, incrementalism is their thing, but voting is one thing. It's one day. 700 other days. Get at them every day possible. I have a friend who was the school board chair, and she had a meeting with Mark Warner. Now that's a pretty huge, because everyone wants to talk to the candidate themselves, right? And it's almost impossible to happen because they have a limited amount of time, and half their time is spent on fundraising. Okay, they have two jobs, and legislating is neither of them. There are two jobs. Number one, get reelected. Number two, raise money. Raising money is how they get power for things like committee chairmanships. Okay, they give their money to various funds. It's all very complicated and gross. But listening to you is not their job. So getting their attention takes a lot of power. Okay, a school board chair could do that. My other friends who've done it had similarly impressive titles. On balance, your best option is you're going to get to talk to one of their staffers, which is okay. Present your case as quickly as possible. Have an action item with you. Okay, something very quick, easy they can do. Because just saying this thing is bad, that's nice. What do we do about it? It's not their job to find out. Okay? Bring something with you that they can actually do, something they can physically take away, right? Or some link they can do on their phone. Okay, something that they can, and that way you can also tell they did it. Okay, and then you follow up and you keep on being irritating, because the more irritating you are politely, they come back and say, okay, I didn't hate this person, right? The interaction went decently-ish because you're not me. You get in there again and you establish a relationship. I had when I worked in a newspaper, I was one of the reporters. Had gone to high school, I think, with this is taking long, with a member of Congress's staffer. I don't think it was a chief of staff, it's a staffer. She was in the newspaper talking to me. Okay, that's a connection. Make those connections, keep them up, because those people who are connected, those representatives and senators, they stay there for a while usually.
Which is part of the problem.
Yeah, well, the problem is K Street. Let's just be real clear about that.
I would really, really appreciate it if, all of campaigns had to come out of an even budget.
Oh yeah. Public funding. Yeah, that would be ideal. You saw the figure where the oligarchy put in like $40 billion into elections a decade ago, and now it's like $800 billion. It's some number that added a digit over the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Other thing I want to show you. Can you put up the spreadsheet I put in chat so I can show people this?
Yeah. Give me 20
This is a fun thing. So before I did queries, long ago, I was a volunteer on two presidential campaigns, and I got curious about data because I like the false sense of security it provides. And interesting story. So typically in the midterms, Democrats get shelled. Republicans tend to do okay. Now you have, is this blurry for me or for everybody? So you have the 2008, I have every party's the president's first midterm going back 110 years. 2010 was Obama's first midterm. He got destroyed. Bush and FDR are the only two presidents going back to, I think, 1860 that actually gained seats. FDR because the economy was getting better and nobody liked Republicans still. Now, I want to say the Democrats are losing 7 seats. If that holds up, that would be their third best result in a president's first midterm in 110 years, which is much better than anybody expected. Here's the reason for that. People younger than us, right? The standard illogic, and I use that word on purpose, is young people don't vote. This is kind of not at all true. First off, every younger generation doesn't vote as much as the older people do because of things like Social Security and schools and inflation, stuff like that. The more you are involved in an economy, the more you're contributing to it, the more stuff you worry about, right? Except that the younger generation voted more than normal. And since they weren't being polled, because I don't want to answer my phone if it's an unknown number. I don't want to answer if it's a known number. Leave me alone, right? I don't know a single person who likes the phone. So they're not being polled. And they're not showing up in the polling, so it's skewed toward the Republicans because younger people are far more likely to be socialists than old people are.
And younger people are far more likely to say, I hate polls, leave me alone. I have a life.
Oh, that's the unknown number thing, yeah. But they're not showing up except when they vote. And they are far more politically minded than the average person thinks. There was a group that endorsed whichever presidential candidate was a couple years ago. And the youngest voting member at that point was, I think, 14. The planet's on fucking fire. There's a reason they're voting this young, right? So it was good for Democrats. You got to keep it up, though. Voting is what democracy is a participation sport. Voting is one day. The other 70 to 60 days. Yes, but
I was going to say, most people only show up for the presidential. If you want change, you need to show up in the primaries. You need to show up for the local.
Yeah.
Because that's where it starts.
And in fact, there's a history in the primaries of voter suppression specifically because of that. There used to be what were called white primaries. This was back in the 30s, 40s. I don't know how much beyond that, but only white people could vote in them. And they were found to be unconstitutional in, I think, 1943. But the thing was, if you weren't white, you couldn't vote. So there was no reason for anybody to support, for example, an anti-lynching law. That now is not allowed officially. However, we have seen many, many, many ways to suppress the vote. For example, Georgia Republicans, I read a couple hours ago, have forbidden early voting for their runoff on Saturday. That is going to do one thing and one thing only, and it ain't decrease the white vote. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Most of it, at least.
Okay.
We got to get Katie on now that I've purged my
electoral knowledge.
I used to go on Saturdays with pants on. Yes, that's how it. Yeah. That's how, I have not been kidnapped. Let's get Katie and do her query because I need to
take a breath.
Get some water.
Yeah. Okay.
God. Yeah, is somebody saying, oh, that's you. Okay. All right, while we wait for her. Let's okay. I'm gonna grab the thing I sent you. I need to look at the first page again because I didn't really get a great feel for it. Okay. All right. This is 70 is less control than usual, but still a good chunk of it. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna need some edit access when she gets in.
Yeah, or I can just
copy it into a new doc.
Yeah, we need Katie. We need you in StreamYard with us to talk, and we also need access to that. I can just make a copy of it. That's easy enough. And then just link you to it. Give me a second to close that. I'm just gonna make a document, as I've done for many people. Okay. Yeah. You need to be in StreamYard because that way you can talk just for you. It's not a bad thing. It's just a thing. But well, sixth thing, right. If you're not going to be, as long as you're answering questions, that's the thing. Because
Yep.
this process is this is a context.
Yeah, it's a lot better for everybody gets more out of it. Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, it's better when we don't have brackets of insert thing here or assumption made there, where you can fill in the blanks.
And as the faster we can go with talking, the more we get done. Also, when I type with this stuff, the average creative starts out well, ends up taking about 3 hours. With talking, it takes a lot less time, and we can do more. Okay. All right, I'm gonna give this to you. 1 second. Let me just do this. Blah, blah. Edit. And that is a pushy thing. Okay, well, we should have gotten all this figured out earlier. There you go. Oh, don't put it on obviously yet, but I'm gonna start working it.
Okay. I think it's time to share it and for me to start reading it. Okay, Katie's going to be joining us via text, so she'll just be in the chat.
Okay. All right, that's good to know.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead, and if you could give us edit access, that would be nice. Patrick, you want to cover?
I linked you the thing. I linked you the thing in the private chat here.
Excellent.
One of the negative free chat windows behind them.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So I'm going to read it aloud. Dear Agent, because you something, I'm excited to share my 88,000-word young adult contemporary fantasy, Sticks and Stones May Break, where a rule-following teen challenges a villain maker to save her family. Think Riverdale's wholesome but complex Betty Cooper versus a sarcastic Crowley from Good Omens. 16-year-old Tana has a secret. Her dad's death was her fault. To atone, she tries to be perfect. It's going horribly. With a single mistake, texting while driving, she totaled her impoverished family's car and fractured her ankle. Tana's chances of securing a track scholarship look worse than the crumpled Camry in a ditch. She only wanted a better future for herself and her family. Now desperate, Tana summons a chain counter, Hacks, to demand a new car and an unbroken future. Revered and dreaded by humans, chain counters create literature's villains. They snatch regular book characters and evil them up via pain or coercion. They also grant wishes, with consequences, to those hopeless enough to call upon them with a written letter. Hacks looks like an ordinary teen, but he tortured Moriarty to prepare him for Sherlock Holmes. He tempted Captain Hook with a crocodile roast. He's dangerous. Tana must decide how to protect her family from the very devil she summoned to save them. She can give in and accept Hacks' scheming, or she can outbad the bad guy. If she can't outsmart this quote-quipping demon, Hacks will twist her future toward evil. To him, her life is just another book to be rewritten, and he'll send her, a newly minted villain, after her own family. Sticks and Stones May Break would appeal to readers of Reverie by Ryan LaSala or All Us Villains by Foodie and Herman. My debut novel visits books studied in AP literature classes, making difficult texts approachable and would market well to schools. I'm a member of SCBWI and the Lexington Writers' Room. My short fiction is published in Common Tongue Magazine and Cosmic Horror Monthly, forthcoming December 2022. Kindest regards.
All right, so we have a couple of things going on here. We have, I think, more plot than we need, which is good. I don't know that we need the poverty plot thread. we can focus on her feeling inadequate and her trying to do good and doing the opposite, I think, pretty easily. The big thing is this entire paragraph. Where's Tana? This is great world building, but we lose everything in the previous paragraph except that last half line. And that we have no, at this point in the book, we have a kid who crashed a car versus Sherlock Holmes and Captain Hook. That's hard. Tana, as I said in the group, we need Tana in here, in because otherwise it's just dead. Like, as a reader, at the end of this paragraph, I don't care about Tana here. I don't. Moriarty, Holmes, Captain Hook, Crocodile. He's dangerous. Nothing here says, give me the girl back. Which means we have to put her in. That's beautiful. So.
You want me to give it a try?
Good. I mean, it starts with reread and dread it, which is already not happening. I would not. I don't care what it looks like. I mean, I care what a chain counter is. I care about how the car in the future go. Does he give her the car in the future? Let's start with that. Give me the car in the future. That's what I keep on. Link me to Tana. I don't need backstory here.
I thought we needed to know what a chain counter was.
Okay, let me explain this to you. Okay, we link, but.
I mean, that paragraph is fun, but it's more blurb than synopsis than query.
Hi, what?
I'm gonna stick him on mute while he handles children. So, okay. Ooh, I am editing and not.
Okay, my kids were being humans. Here's what we need. Hold on a second. Hi! Shut.
Oh.
Another reason for birth control. I am your constant reminder how much you don't want kids. Right? Or is that somebody else and I'm just here for the ride? Okay. Okay, so pain and okay. This is Morgan, this is your nouns again.
Why is villain spelled with the A and the I in that order, and why can't I ever remember?
Hold on, I'll tell you. One second. Okay, hold on. It's okay. That is why. Villain. Literally. Well, in the Old French, modern French and Old and Middle French are not pronounced the same.
Okay.
I don't know how Old French would have been pronounced, but I can tell you that's villain there. But that just, like, English just straight up stole it, basically, in a lot of cases. A running theme in our language, honestly. So that's villain becomes villain. The original word is villanus, which is villanus. US, in most cases in Latin, goes to I. So if you can imagine that US becoming an I, and then it's before the end, you flip it in one place, villain. Does that help you?
Okay.
No?
I thought that was a Germanic thing to
No,
pronounce
this
the
is an
second
Old
vowel.
English word. This is from Old French. German, villain is something else.
Right. I just meant the pronouncing the second vowel and ignoring the
It's
first
not.
one.
It's not villain. Villain. It's a snort.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll
think
remember
villain.
it. The best lane plans of villains.
Morgan. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna help me. Tortured and coerced.
Are they desperate people?
Whatever. You want to mod? I took away your noun, then you want to modify it in return. This isn't a trade, lady.
Are you sure?
No. I mean, we can edit it out in post, whatever. Okay, so petty wishes. Wait, I don't see a petty. Is this you imagining a thing here? Like the petty wishes thing? Okay, making sure.
I'm imagining his opinion.
Yeah, I see the I saw the noun and I saw the modifier, and I should have seen that that was you. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, we need anything. The crocodile roast is fun. Prep and Hook is fun. But this is now all centered on hacks in relation to Tana. Do we need this paragraph anymore?
Nope.
Toss.
It makes great blurb copy.
Oh, absolutely. I can completely see this on back cover. Is this dual POV? You didn't say, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. Katie, is this dual or is this single?
Oh, do we also get Hax's point of view?
That was not good. No, okay.
Okay, it's mostly Tana with a few.
Yeah, I still like doing it more in terms of Tana, because if you let that paragraph there, nobody cares about Tana anymore. Just no, sorry. If you could go Moriarty creation event or girl has a car problem, which is more interesting. Let's be. I'm not trying to be mean, but Moriarty is just awful. I've watched more Sherlock, the Benedict Cumberbatch version, which is the best to me.
I mean, obviously
today and yesterday, the Irene Adler, and it's just He is so, and the one from a couple years ago where they start out and it's the introduction to his sister. And it's
Enola
just
Holmes.
so.
The sequel just came out this week on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see the movie. I liked the Enola, but not really enough. And I also don't like movies anyway. So, because I really like to be able to invest, 30 hours in a TV show, and you can't do that with movies. That's not how they work. Anyway, okay.
That's
This
why
is
I will watch a way more depressing movie than I will a TV show because it's over faster. If Game of Thrones was a movie, I'd watch it. It's a TV series though, and I already read the books, and I don't need
the
to be
thing about
depressed that
miserable
long.
things, Morgan, is you can just not watch them at all. Once I discovered that Game of Thrones was going to be very, very bad for 4 seasons of God, I stopped watching. And
I watched the first episode and was like, nope, I can read so much faster than they're going to go through the series, and it's way depressing, and I'm never reading it again. Next time, if assuming he finishes and publishes the next book, I'm hitting Wikipedia as a refresher and rolling.
Okay, you do that. I don't like modifiers, some of the things. Okay, so here's the paragraph. This last one is abrupt, and it takes forever. We usually...
Yeah.
Yep, go ahead.
This is the stakes sentence, but you've made it an entire stakes paragraph.
Yes, the stakes sentence generally comes last in the last paragraph of the pitch, and if it doesn't, there's some sort of quippy thing at the end, like, or she'll lose the thing forever, whatever. And so what we need to do, we need more plot that links, because we just got a concept there with hacks, but we need to see that's still bad. Oh, you're doing concept stakes. Never mind. Okay, so we need more plot to lead up to the stakes, because right now we have honestly not enough. Okay. Oh, I forgot to do this. Is this the first third of the book, or is this more than the first third? Ah! Really? Are you trying to kill me?
I'm trying to preserve her phrasing while shortening it.
Why you could have even used the stasis verb there. Okay, good. All right, I can just delete that because it's, oh my god, no. Okay, that's stakes. Okay, that's tolerable stakes. But we need stuff. We need plotty stuff happening where she has agency before it.
Which is totally fine. I was just doing the stakes sentence.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's fine.
Sometimes I start at the end and work my way backwards.
We don't need quote clipping. It's not the right cone for this. Let's just toss this. Linear verbs.
I just occasionally try to leave the voice that the query
People
came in with.
Like what I do.
Right, but I feel like it might reflect the story better, so they don't come up with first pages that sound so different.
Katie, whose version do you like more? Mine or hers?
I mean, it is 3 things in a list, comma separated, so I mean, I don't hate yours. I do love a list.
And it would not be a plot elements list. There are no bats, banshees, and wizards. On the way, she meets plot elements. Okay. What do they do? How do they change her? Are they just things? Anyway, we need plot.
Does she have to do like small favors for him? How did she get coerced to evil?
So ideally, what we have is we are showing him working in the world and showing her doing stuff and failing or whatever. I'm assuming she's trying to do well and she's failing. and then something happens, and suddenly she has to either do a thing or he'll do his thing, right? If so, if we have that sort of not evil montage, not training montage, evil montage, it's hey,
because that's something that a lot of people get confused between blurbs and queries. Queries, you want specificity. You want to tell the agent exactly what's going to happen, even if you're not giving away the ending until the synopsis.
You don't get that close.
Because you want to show why it's like other books in the genre, but also how it's specifically different. If you zoom out far enough, Avatar, the movie with the blue people, is the same movie as Pocahontas, is the same movie as Ferngully.
Ferngully, that's the one,
yeah. So you got to show how it's different. And we all know it's the joking bat that really...
Let me just show you something here, okay?
Makes Ferngully the best.
This is, except for one phrase. No, that's not true. I was looking at how it's similar to this other language, other books, but it is within its. It is the good thing is, it's specific enough because it felt like nothing we've seen, and create any language. It's like, but everything stands in the faith, and nothing gives us a chance. And I could not be more vague if I tried all this stuff. But this is actually relatively okay. Because it's not common for a character to have to attack her own family. That is good. Yeah. That is good.
I'm going to move the comps up to the stats paragraph.
Yeah, good job.
Because you want it separate from the bio. Okay, Katie says she calls a chain breaker, which are the counters to the chain counters, to off hacks, like kill him when they refuse her. Then she ends up doing quote unquote bad things, off brand, so she can get him arrested, but she's not great at it.
Okay.
So is she trying to frame him?
I think she's trying to undo him.
Does she steal things? Does she lie?
Yeah, we need specifics there. Can you put it in and then we can work it?
Work it real good.
Okay. That dance interlude was brought to you by not me. Okay, this.
Does you have the link to our version? Let's check it. I'm going to toss it at her just in case. Feel free to throw your stuff in there. Okay. Oh, she helps him graffiti a building. I mean, on the bad scale, it's kind of low misdemeanor, but sure.
I mean, given that she's been trying to, do nice and good for the world, it's something.
Does she make sure to take the spray can with her so there's no litter left behind?
At a fundamental level, Morgan, we need people that might understand this. At a fundamental level, bad is relative in everything.
Oh, yeah, no.
And so if you have a character, just to explain this, if you have a character who has been beaten into a sense of, because I have one who's like this, of always doing the same thing the same way, even when they're punished for it because whatever, if they one day don't do exactly that same way, that's them being bad.
Okay, she says the other thing that Tana does is she vandalizes a bathroom and blames it on him.
Put it all in here, please. All in here.
Sure. Okay.
That's it. I can fix it. Just copy whatever name.
Okay, I'll just copy then.
Is Haxer is hold on. What? Oh, what? I was confused. Okay, that's fine.
I mean, is her ankle doing any better? Does she still have a shot at that scholarship?
Probably do we need to take out the ankle? Is that a level of complexity we don't need? I get that it shows the extent of her messing up, but
well, that's half of her desperation is she needs the ankle fixed so she can get the track scholarship.
No, we took out the track scholarship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember, we had that poverty plot line, but it died, right?
Well, I figured we could take out poverty without taking out scholarship, because no matter how impoverished you are,
okay, but where do we have track again in this thing, Morgan?
College. Possible.
We don't. All of that stuff dies. The track doesn't get mentioned again. The poverty doesn't get mentioned again. Okay? Demand a new car. But what's the stakes? Not that. This is another example of you figure out what the core of your book is.
Mm-hmm.
The poverty is an element of it. It's not core to it. The track scholarship is an element of the poverty. So it's even less. So
that's not the stakes.
Honestly. So no, this is Tana. This is a girl who keeps on making the right decisions, but they go the wrong way, and so she's got to trust herself to do something good. Nothing in there about poverty. Nothing in there about track scholarship. Now, if she had to race something to a place, right, to show off for a track scout, which is a credible plot element, that would be a reason to keep the track scholarship in. But as is, it's a level of detail we don't need. Because again, things that don't repeat. When something doesn't repeat, that's you telling us it's not important enough. Just like if her brother had been in the car when she killed her dad. Does he reappear? Nope. Not important enough. And you're too close to the book to know that. That's what we're here for. All right. So toss the poverty line. Toss this. I have a feeling. Okay.
Go ahead.
I can do that. I can remember that. That's fine. This is more poverty line. A new one. This is all concept language. I don't care if it's true. I care, that we can fix it. But you can't change words that don't exist.
Yeah.
To
Did Katie send you a request for edit permissions, or
anybody can edit this thing?
Oh, okay.
Yep. That's one of my things. Unless I have the email, I make it everybody. And
no, that makes sense.
Yep. The nice thing is that lately people have been doing their own documents because everyone's doing it. And they're like, I can do this thing too. Which means I don't have to do it, which is nice. I have my graveyard is there. We are. Hello, Katie. My graveyard is robust. In the other group, I had a folder of 73 of them from 2 months ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And then a thing happened, and I made a new group, and that has worked out pretty well, I'd say.
I think so too. I'm just sad that I don't have the time I used to.
Yeah, it is. I miss doing it a lot, but then I get into my own stuff, and it's like, oh, cool, I can write too. That's nice.
Yeah. I hate 25K
Hooray! I didn't at all.
for the month, not today. Dear God.
No, I mean, even you don't write that fast, Morgan, even without kids. Okay.
I think I'm gonna keep maybe half of it though. So
you're gonna have doors with only 2 hinges and a 3. All right.
I have 3 paragraphs about her class schedule. But I needed it for me, even if it doesn't stay on the page.
Not sure about that edit, but I think we're gonna need to do it eventually. It's a fantastic plot element, but I'm not sure. I think that length and balance are gonna be, because we can't make hacks bigger than Tana. I'm okay. Okay. You're not, Morgan. You're not gonna like this, but you also are.
Sure.
We have something weaker than Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
How do you compete with that?
Whoa. He doesn't outsmart Sherlock Holmes. He just takes Moriarty off until Moriarty.
I know. We need a smaller name than the iconic as fuck Sherlock Holmes.
True.
Yes.
But Captain Hook is
even bigger.
I guess Disney doesn't own him.
Captain Hook isn't a great villain to me, honestly. Okay, so the modern media depictions of Captain Hook, he's more funny than scary. Moriarty in the recent BBC stuff has been deliciously terrible. Captain Hook just isn't. I mean, he's asked for it by a 10-year-old repeatedly. How good can you be? Anyway,
I mean, which one of them is sober?
What do you? I'm sorry. What?
I'm just saying it's easier for a 10-year-old to be grown men when the grown men are drunk.
Oh, right. Well, but then back then the water wasn't safe anyway. You're better off drinking wine than you were water until
in Neverland.
About 1930, I think, something like that. Because cholera was really bad. And Hep C, etc. Okay, so, and frankly, just mud, honestly. Katie, can we go something less iconic than Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes, because this is competing with Tana in a bad way. Like, it's juicy, but I think it's maybe a little too juicy.
I think it's hard to think of
or
that are famous that aren't ripping off things that are still under copyright.
Not under copyright. Holmes fell out of copyright about a decade ago.
I know. I'm saying the 2 that she's chosen are not copyright.
Well, yeah.
Coming up with one that, isn't iconic.
You can go copyrighted in a query.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can. It's a matter of how you use it.
Yeah.
You'd have to get permission from the estate or the writer, depending on the legal situation.
Yeah.
Because you can. Okay. If I were to write a book, in which Peter Pan became a drug user, most people would not view that positively.
Probably not.
And that would harm the estate.
Right.
And I would probably get sued, because even though it's not under copyright, it's like that whole that Winnie the Pooh went off copyright and they turned it into horror. That doesn't defame it because it's ridiculous. But a 10-year-old boy without any parents turning into drugs is not implausible. Anyway, I have an idea for here though.
Big Bad Wolf.
No, that's even worse. That's way bad. And who are you? Listen. Never mind. Okay, back to the
Yeah. So that way the
Okay. We need
secondary characters don't dominate the query stakes.
it was a great paragraph, but it just completely
We do
engulfed.
want to. I think the rule of thumb is to have as few proper nouns as possible. Two being the best.
Although, honestly, well, you could set up a character to compete with Moriarty. Like, it's possible. And it's possible to have it be a one-off. You'd have to really want to, though. Like, you'd have to. That would have to be like the point of the query.
Yeah.
And that's a risk.
Yeah.
Do you need a stimulant, Morgan?
Sorry, say what now?
Morgan?
No. I
Okay.
might need water. I'll be right back.
Okay. So let's gossip about Morgan. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you too, honey. All right, let's grab the text here. I told you. It's tiny. She
there we go. I did not fully track that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I just had to put it in. It's fine.
I didn't realize that was her motivation to go bad. Are you getting better at understanding how fantasy works?
Oh? What would possibly tell you that I had
You tracked
read?
the trope and I missed it.
No, I told you to copy the thing into the document, and you didn't. So I did.
I did.
No, literally zero of that is in there.
Oh! I copied below the link. I copied graffiti and vandals. I didn't go up. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I didn't realize you meant the whole part.
The copy. Yes, the copy.
I'm sorry.
It's done. I did not improve at fantasy. I would the notion of me improving. I don't want. The closest I come to that is light science fiction.
I mean, it's a contemporary fiction.
So my books, my book world, is contemporary-ish.
Yeah.
Have I shown you any of it?
Not
a long
this
time ago.
one,
Maybe.
I think.
It's been a while, at least. I could show you, but it's me. So it's very angry and all full of verbs. He's like, "Yep, this is him, not for me," because I don't talk about how the shade of any of the trees or anything. There's a bush at one point, and that's about it. It's night. They can't see it anyway. So who cares? And the moon isn't blah 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 on everything. So
like a big pizza pie. I heard that's amore.
What the? We'll fix it in post. Oh, villainy. Gerund. Okay, so helping him versus hurting him is a plot shift, and that's okay. But we need to indicate that something has changed in her motivation.
Right.
Either she has a plan she hasn't told him about, or something else.
Does she
But
get
we
caught
can't
for
just.
cheating? Why does she change her mind here? Why does she call in the other
That's
side?
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
Well, stuff, words. I don't know. A verb, I'm sure.
I used a lot more adjectives.
That's why I didn't understand it. Oh God! All right, we need that, but the big thing here is we need something joining her doing this stuff, and you've got to kill your family, because that's like we can't do from the escalation from bathroom vandalism to killing her family is uneven, and unless the vandalism involves like bombing it, which is not vandalizing it, or some deep work.
Burning down the house.
Something has to happen, and we need just accept all this stuff, because this is a vast amount of markup. Okay, so I'm gonna accept everything because I can, and if you don't like it, then you can. What? A song reference, isn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is.
I added a modifier.
I'm so proud of
The street services and Lucci. Okay, we do not need to have any element of LYN for hyphenated ever in the world.
So she wants to stop him, tries to trick him, and then after this first
Put it in.
Starts to fall for him because he actually wars against his own villainy.
Morgan.
I don't need to put it in because it's after the first third.
Oh, well, then I don't need it. Does something happen in here? Okay. We need the escalation within the first third. If it doesn't happen there, it's not there, because she's already told us this is the first third, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So we need.
So maybe we have different stakes.
I'm gonna bold the stuff we need, because I'm good like that, and I like to be precise. So people can't just go, "What are we gonna fix?" He said politely, and we need transition stuff here. Okay. And all right, I'm gonna look at the page again because.
I don't know why I can't stop yawning.
I do. You're tired.
I don't think so. That doesn't
You're tired
seem...
of verbs. Get some sugar, lady. Which reminds me, Katie, I try to avoid telling women I don't know what they should eat because it's a bad idea. But this stuff will choose for your glucose, like a study session that goes very long. I recommend glucose for that, such as, for example, fruit. I used to do frozen fruit. I don't anymore just because I don't have to dig it up. But chocolate would be good. Something like a wrapper would not be good. Is that like a Werther's something? Or some other caramel thing?
It's a 70% cocoa lint truffle.
I feel my mortgage just screaming at that. It's just Morgan, you also on OnlyFans right now, because that was a very deliberate bite. I'm not judging at all. I have to consider doing this on OnlyFans, by the way. That would be very amusing, I think. We could do it, but that's not really the market, I don't think.
I would definitely post pictures of my cat. Catechus, the one who's out for blood. Not euphemistically. It's okay. Use your inside head voice.
My inner 13-year-old.
I think I broke him. I have an inner 13-year-old too. My boyfriend watches machining videos and watches machining videos where they tap and ream and all sorts of machining terminology.
Oh, machines. Okay. I didn't hear.
Yeah.
Ew. Okay, so this, okay, right here, Katie, look at where I've highlighted here very quick. Oh, never mind. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Morgan.
Yes.
I'm going to write a comment. I'm not going to press enter. You tell me what you think is wrong with this.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Where am I looking?
Down, chapter 1, out of the page. The thing I highlighted.
Oh.
This is me not typing. Go ahead, tell me what's wrong with it.
Order of operations. It was crinkled and then she smooths it. She pulls it out of her pocket and then smooths it.
Crinkling is good, but we don't know she needs to smooth it until she's done so. Which is basically what you said.
I earned myself a piece of chocolate. Luckily, I just
no. What's wrong there?
No.
What's wrong there? That's death. Can't do that. What's wrong there, Morgan?
Processing language.
Though number 1 tells me she's gonna fail, so already we're there, which means the next couple of words are just dead. Tried to is even deathier.
Tried to is what I call a filter word, but you call a
process language. It's not filter. It's process. It's how you're doing it, right? It's like she tried to. No, don't give me that. Give me, her shoulder tense or something like that. For this, she squints at something. Give her what she's actually doing to try to make out the words. That's
she
what's
doesn't
happening.
want to make out the words, but she does anyway.
Morgan,
but
in trying to, she is not doing it.
Yeah, she didn't.
We show what she is doing, not what she is trying. She squinted to focus only on the form, blah, blah, blah. That is what she's doing. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's a lot.
My entire nano.
Oh God! Again. Morgan, what's wrong here?
Are we past the poem?
I didn't even read it.
Okay. We start off with a prepositional phrase.
We start with a modifier. It's an adverbial phrase. How is she running? Adverb. Infuse it into ran. Traced a finger over the words as one you could do. Because tracing will be a light touch, right?
Yes. But with the light touch is a prepositional phrase because it's with.
No,
right?
It's you. How did she run it, Morgan? Adverb. She ran, blah, 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 with a light touch. She ran with a friend. How did she run, Morgan? With a friend. Adverbial phrase. Because you might say she ran it friendlily or whatever, right? Adverbial. It's a hard thing to judge for people who aren't me, but I just, one of my talents. We pretend it's a talent here. Morgan is like, I don't know what to do here, dude. Anyway, but if you know what the word is, then you can. No. This is the word. This is the word. Kind of trace a finger or whatever.
Which is totally fine, but you can't tell me it wasn't a prepositional phrase.
It was a prepositional phrase. It is also adverbial. You were saying adjective phrase.
Totally fine. Prepositions are used as adjectives. That's why they're glorious.
Absolutely begin modifiers. Are you muted?
No, I was mouthing the word glorious 4 times.
Okay.
About how prepositional phrases are pretty much always modifiers.
Oh, okay.
Glorious.
Okay. Here's another one, Morgan. What's this one? Why is this bad?
It's passive?
Nope. Wasn't passive. This is past tense. It was a thing, not past tense. Not passive at all. This is predicate noun. It was is a terrible way to begin a sentence. The eye was strolling full of itself, and the could was arrogant. That way you're centering on what it is, right? It was a blah, blah, is terrible. Because we need that in this. The eye was scrolling and full of itself, the could arrogant. Now, here's the big problem. Wait. I get that we got to get away from all the calligraphy and all, but why? And I might be being too picky here, but I would be perfectly happy to continue looking at the geometry of these letters, or the thought process behind the writing. Why are we now going outside? And again, rain. The free square on a fantasy bingo card. Rain. I will say, this is...
So, when I was doing research for...
On nouns?
No, for the opening page of my urban fantasy, I opened up an award-winning one of my favorite authors, and I looked at her first page, and the first sentence on 4 of her books included the weather, the location, and the month. Because part of urban fantasy, the setting is character level, or supposed to be, I think, something.
Character level? What does that mean? What does character level mean, Morgan?
Meaning the setting has as much personality as like a secondary.
Okay, the setting is a character. Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
I've seen that particularly with Southern Gothic stuff, where the house is its own person basically, and if you don't leave it burnt offerings, it goes very bad.
I mean, that's literally the theme of my story.
Okay,
but she doesn't know why it's falling apart because she didn't think the burnt offerings were
give her that information because you wanted her to suffer.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, this is good. This bit right here, because it's written in that way. You see the difference between morning tinged the rain, the clouds with clouds. Is there such thing as a non-rain cloud, Morgan?
Yes, tons. Oh my God, tons of rain.
Practical purposes.
I mean, if you've seen my Instagram feed, yes.
I have not.
It's 90% sunsets and cats.
See, every cloud, are there clouds that don't become rain in the sky, Morgan?
Oh, yes. Tons.
So we need rain clouds. All right, good to know. Anyway,
There's
morning
the light
tinged the
with
clouds.
the. Okay, sorry.
Morning tinged the clouds. Versus it was a scrolling blah blah blah. It was it as your subject versus morning as your subject.
We could say the heavy clouds or the dense
Are
clouds.
you just trying to?
Instead of rain, I'm just using a different modifier.
You're
If you
just
think
yes,
rain
yes.
could-
You're trying to pile on modifiers. I know. I
No, no,
know.
no.
I've seen
No,
your buttons
I was hearing Patrick thinks the word rain clouds is
It's
redundant,
redundant. Yes.
or perhaps, an overused adjective. So I was like, well, instead of rain, we could use these other adjectives for rain clouds. Instead of, not in addition to,
But
I wasn't
see, then
adding,
you are
I was
still
swapping,
thinking about it. But
swapping modifiers.
yes, but Morgan, see, I've seen you. Oh! I have a joke. Hold on. I have fun.
Okay, I'm here. I'm here.
I have to. This. I saved this for a minute. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Imagine we're doing our intro. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm reading this so I can't see if you're making faces. And Morgan, who so loves modifiers that she inspired her mother to begin her name with one. She's not Gan, she's Morgan. I've been saying that seriously for a month. Because we haven't been doing it much.
It's beautiful.
I thought of that like the 17th or something. It was like, this is amazing.
So touched.
She's going to love this. It's so bad. It's wonderful.
I loved it. You're right. It was so good.
It was. If you want to use it, here you go.
Okay.
I hope you appreciate what I capitalized. Because I capitalized it for you. There you go.
Thank you.
My one suggestion, don't turn it into a tattoo.
No.
Because it will take a while. And also, I know you sneak a modifier in. Okay. Now, okay, 0 Aha. Morgan.
Yes.
Please read the sentence after the one where it insisted we need rain in clouds.
0 hour study hall in an April thunderstorm.
Do we need the rain, Morgan?
I think it adds a lovely bit of atmosphere. It's
Literally.
not necessary for a purely journalistic standpoint,
Nothing,
but 0 hour study hall implies morning. April thunderstorm gives us the month and the storm.
Do we need what I've highlighted here, or if we just go as good a place as any?
But wait. Red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. So that might be like a...
We're not sailors, Morgan.
I know, but...
We have no indication. We have nothing to suggest a nautical theme here.
Right. But we do have the rain clouds tinged red, which might be early foreshadowing for doom happening tonight.
Okay. I don't like foreshadowing.
I mean, it's only foreshadowing in retrospect,
so.
Which is even better than regular foreshadowing.
Is deleting that the right move?
Yes.
Why?
Because the concepts work together and it's blocky the way it is. There's no reason, because you have the same subject for both sentences, to split them up like that.
We have here.
And it's really good to vary the length of your sentences.
But this actually doesn't. My thing is, this paragraph goes adverb, indefinite clause, noun. Now, this entire thing here is a noun.
Yeah.
Because as good a place as any is a noun, is a location, modifier.
I mean, to read is an infinitive.
But within
That's
this
like
grammatical structure, it's a modifier. Here's the fun thing, okay? You can have words and phrases serve multiple parts of speech.
Mm-hmm.
Because this right here is absolutely a verb. But within the structure, within the broader structure, this is a modifier.
It's not acting as it. Yeah.
And this is absolutely a prepositional phrase.
Yes.
But as we've said, what is this? It could be an adverbial, but it isn't.
No.
But a prepositional phrase can also be, and in fact, almost always is a modifier.
Oh yeah, no,
that's what it does. I
definitely.
mean, that's the job. That's why I hate
tells
prepositional
you
phrases instead of modifiers.
it's all about relationships.
Yeah.
Like
Relational
on
knowledge,
the
absolutely.
table, in front of the thing, around the corner. It tells you
And this
relationship.
is positive, but within the broader picture,
Yeah.
it's a modifier. See, this A chain counter, noun becomes part of modifier. All these things come, they are at once. This is at once a verb and not a verb. A verb and something else.
I think
Because
I
that's how
figured
this
out
works.
my obsession with prepositional phrases.
They're modifiers?
No, well, once upon a time back in English class in middle school, everybody was assigned a different part of speech that they were responsible for teaching a lesson on. And I didn't get verbs. I didn't get nouns. I was given prepositional phrases to teach.
I would have cried a lot. I would have been sick that day and emailed like, hey, here's my verb presentation. And if I had gone to back, no, sorry, this is supposed to be prepositions. I have to, no, I'm sorry. I'm afraid I had verbs, sir.
Were you into verbs in middle school?
I was not. I was into not being tortured in middle school.
Yeah.
I used to be very, very nounful and very passiveful because I had older writing, especially pre-1960 or so, probably pre-1950, is mechanically kind of all over the place, as we've seen.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff I read was full of passives and nouns, and I was like, okay, because if you're on an adventure, if you see a unique animal, that's the adventure. You can do whatever you want with the language. So between that and some really terrible message boards, where people just, and whatever, it helped with stuff, but I had no idea what I was doing. Me at 23, I was god awful. Are you kidding me? I was doing well at writing despite myself. I got into verbs in one class, in one assignment. I was 24.
Okay.
And everything changed.
A whole new world.
Whole new world.
There's a reason we don't do karaoke.
I don't well, no, I'm out of practice. Anyway, okay.
Okay, so this is the end of what we have.
Yeah.
Oh, did we want to look at the poem? Or you don't edit poems?
It's so hard to edit those things. It's a different concept. See, okay, let me give you an example, okay? I don't know the world, okay? So this to me looks redundant, but there might be a thing later where these three nouns are huge. So I don't know. But poetry editing, this kind of concept of presentation with the white space and all, it's so hard to do right.
Is Devil Dragon his nickname or like a title for his role? Because this feels very flirtatious to me. Or is he trying to woo her to his evil side already on page 1? What genre is this? Is this I know it's YA, but
contemporary fantasy. That's not a genre. It's age range. Contemporary fantasy. All right. Okay. Oh, here.
It is his title. Okay. Is it Devil Dragon as the title, or Devil Dragon of the written word? In which case, written and word should be capitalized as well. And I'm assuming the written is the signed bargain.
We need to get back to the career soon. Hello, Autumn.
Hello, Autumn.
That is as nice as I get to a stranger. Sorry, not use me. All right. Okay, she's been getting.
Okay. So Katie clarified it's Devil Dragon is the title. The written word is just the literature in which he works.
Okay.
So.
Do I care?
I asked the question.
Okay.
So
I don't have to care. Making sure.
Answering aloud for.
It was a noun. I had immediate motivation issue.
You're good.
Okay, thank you.
Where are we now? Are we at the words?
I'm going back to the query because the page. I mean, we've shown her what she needs to do. It's all very easy.
Yeah.
It's very basic stuff in fantasy and otherwise. Okay, so the grades don't repeat. I'm not sure. Burden. This is vague.
Trying not to be a burden by pulling more hours at work.
I don't. Maybe I don't know. You're asking her, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we need to pair what she's been trying to do to atone with the catastrophic results.
Yeah.
For example, this is just a concept thing. To improve her math grade, she pulls all-nighters to study and then sleeps through the test. Right? That's the kind of thing we're looking for. So what we need is okay, yeah, we need this still to be filled in, and then we still need the transition thing filled in. And after we get that thing done, which should take, if we're doing well, getting this setting, this bit of it fixed is 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's bad. We can't do track.
And I'm assuming
was she driving so she wouldn't burden her mother?
Who was she texting and why?
That might be we need some way in which this is showing her try to do something good, because we can't go track meet because we already deleted the track because it's a plot that we don't need, and it takes focus off of Hacks and her.
So it's back on the page though. It's not edited out right now, Patrick. Was she texting about the schedule?
Who was she texting?
Yeah.
Was she supposed to be texting at all, this person? I don't need the identity. I don't need a name. I need some sense of the text person being someone she should be staying away from, or we need some element of this that she shouldn't be doing. Yeah. What are you doing here?
She's just texting her friends. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Why is she driving? Is she trying to help somebody, or is she just driving because? This gets worse. Okay. This is.
Is she texting her
friend?
No,
I see it. Don't worry.
Okay.
We got it. Okay. First of all, when she's.
Is the unbroken future because she broke her ankle? And also because her future had been laid out and now it's not? Is it a pun? I was right. Okay. Yeah. The car is something concrete, though. I don't know. Katie asks, so I'm wondering between the car and the impoverished family, the car just doesn't seem to have the same stakes as trying to help her family. I think Patrick was going the other way. Oh, Patrick's gone. Patrick left us. Gonna have to push on without him. I think Patrick was trying to do away with the family needing money in the track meet, and just she needs to fix the car. But I think that lowers the stakes. I don't know. Clearly, I am not Patrick. So. Oh, and Patrick's back. So Patrick,
yeah,
while you were gone, I was speculating, taking out the family short on money and the track meet, doesn't that lower the stakes to she wrecked the car, now she's got to fix it? Isn't that weaker stakes?
So we need to focus on her and continuity.
Yes. But we also don't want stakes.
So the money. But you have to build more stakes.
Yeah.
Your child, I think this is my computer being stupid. Windows updated and sorry.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it
the
had
struggle is real.
an unexpected issue. It was not a black screen of death. It was that sort of light bluish thing. And I'm amazed I'm back this fast because usually it takes an hour and a half. I don't know where my phone is, so I couldn't have done anything to you. Yeah. So anyway, you can include anything you want. The more elements you include, the harder it is to do because like juggling. The more you have to keep. I mean, you saw Ruth's career, right? For the cancer team thing.
Yeah.
She had 3 threads that we wove together.
Right.
That's a lot, and it worked, but it's a lot.
Yeah.
So you'd have to have either the track thing, scholarship, whatever,
right,
in the stakes continuing, or something conceptually replacing it. To give a concept, so she's taken off the track team and placed on debate, or whatever. So the sense is still an obligation that she's messing up. It's doable. It takes focus away. And to me, if I do this thing, I have to kill my family, is enough. I don't care how poor or rich anybody is.
Right. Point,
right? So I don't see value in continuing with it.
Okay. I was just curious if I messed up and wrecked the car was lower stakes than I just lost my scholarship and my mom can't get to work now.
We don't need to see the poverty. We just need to see a disappointing family. And that's because that's the core of the book. To me, at least, it is. She keeps on trying to help. And
it feels like smaller stakes. I know. You just explained it to me, and I asked the same question again.
You did. And I did. I'm trying to think of it. Because if I say different words, maybe you'll suddenly understand not to put modifiers and everything either.
I understand it's much clearer, and we're honing in on the family comes first. I did get that part.
Okay. You don't need the ankle. I know it's a big deal at that point, but here's the thing. We have her calling a chain breaker without incident. Her ankle is not involved there. Her ankle isn't involved in graffiti, isn't involved in vandalism, isn't involved in him saying, I don't care that you have a broken ankle, you still have to kill these people. This is not me saying it doesn't matter. This is the book saying it doesn't matter. And if I'm wrong, because here's the thing, sometimes you would forget that they haven't written down exactly what is in the book. And that's fine. I get that. Because 30,000 words is easy to miss stuff. And especially the later you go into the first third, because you work that first page and that first chapter as much as you work any other third of the book. That's the business, right? That first chapter has to be everything perfect, right? Well, this car accident is happening, what, chapter 4, chapter 7, something like that, right? Of course it matters less to your brain. If it mattered the same amount, I would suspect that you had, for example, entered that chapter in a short story anthology, whatever, something where you had a reason to just really drill down in the 15 drafts of it. So, Katie, is the fractured ankle a big deal from here to the end of the first third of the book? Yes, I fucking got it right. See? Told you. Ha! I win again. And that was me being right about a noun. Morgan's precious sacred nouns. The reason I get like this with Morgan and I have known each other 6 years.
Oh,
Morgan,
God.
if I thought at any time that Morgan couldn't handle, and sometimes when we're off stream, she can't handle certain things, I stop. You haven't seen that, but I do stop.
I say, hey, this isn't working for me. And
yeah, and I stop.
We stop.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yes. Because if you can't make the grueling work of editing funny, people aren't going to watch. No, it's just, even a better example. Monday Night Football as a concept was tried out many times before it succeeded finally, and they figured out what they weren't doing is it was inaccessible to people who don't care about football. They watch it because it's fun.
Yeah.
Not because they care about the teams. I don't care. I never care about the teams. It's a fun thing. It's live entertainment.
This is our Monday Night Football.
Monday Night Football. Yeah. This is our date night thing because it's fun. We're explaining it with jokes. We have a running thing. Morgan and I discovered that I love verbs and she loves nouns. And it's the perfect fighting thing.
I don't know. Do I love nouns more than I love modifiers? Modifiers.
Both yes and no.
But I mean, you can't have a verb or a modifier without a noun.
You take that back.
It has to be implied, even if it's not in this on the page.
So you can, in fact, because implied means I don't see it. But here's the thing.
But you know it's there. You know it's there.
In my heart, okay, part of this is a fun act, and I completely love it because I know that for everything I say, Morgan has something to come back with. Okay. And she knows that ultimately, if the query needs a noun, I'm right there for it.
Yes.
And if it needs a modifier, I'm there for it because the work is the thing. But I will always be verb first, not only because it's my act, but because I genuinely, I do this for a living.
I do love a good verb. It's not like I don't appreciate it.
Can we get that recorded, and can you please turn it into a GIF? Because that's the game.
We're at minute 129, so I'll know to look that up for GIFing.
All right, yes, make that a GIF, please. And with the subtitle there, and I want the verb in a nice red font. No wingdings, lady. That's not the noun for you.
If we went with captions, I might as well just Instagram will caption for me.
You know what? You can just take a particular segment where you like whatever thing.
Sure.
About, and we'll pretend that was when you said, I like a good noun.
I do like a verb.
Verb, yes, God, that was, I knew that.
Justin just likes a good noun.
Oh my God. That was a 129.
Do you need sugar? Do you need sugar?
Oh my God. Do you remember how I was before this thing started? I was like, one testing, 1, 2, dead. actual thing I said. Anyway,
Truth.
getting back to the grammar of this, because again,
Yes.
people don't want it if it's not funny. All right, so family video. So boring. Like this. Toss this. Okay. Better grades. We need to see her, because good grades is just not a change in effort necessarily.
Do we ever have the she killed her dad thing come back in the story? I mean, that's a motivation, but
yes, we do in the Chill to Kill Her family, because she's so
to kill the rest of her family.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, that shouldn't be funny. I'm sorry.
It's allowed to be dark.
I'm appreciating irony, not unaliving
the rhetoric of the situation. Yeah.
Yes. Whew. Thank you. Katie gave me a spoiler.
I don't need to know.
It's okay. Is his name supposed to be evocative of Hex?
I thought it was Hex.
Right, evocative of.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I got Hex is a specific term in some circles.
Yes.
You probably have heard of it a little bit on account of, computering the things.
Usually I see Hex or.
But different spheres, right?
Yes.
I used a noun for you and a modifier. Again, the interplay here. I absolutely respect the value of nouns and some very 2 or 3 modifiers. But the interplay with verbs versus non-verbs with us is just too much for me to pass it every single time. It's a wonderful thing. It's a fun, and you enjoy it, and I enjoy it, other people enjoy it. So
let's do it.
I mean, why not? It's fun. What did you say here? Is this the same thing that? Okay, yeah, you did the thing. All right. Look. Okay, so where's Katie in this thing? Is she down there, or is that somebody else? That's somebody else. Okay. All right. Okay, so we still need. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do all the check marks here to clean this bit and make clear what we need, because we're still a couple things away. I'm not sure how much progress we made. So let me see. Sometimes people need help zeroing in on the stuff that they need to do, and I am here to be as clear as I can be, because otherwise we're wasting our time. Okay, so we still need. Okay, we're good there.
I'm just
I
going to put
don't
it
think
by.
we need. Let's see if we can do this without. No, we don't need. Let's see about if we can get this without using this, because I feel like this
she's
is
texting her friends because all this studying and working means she never gets to see them.
You're getting into complexity. We don't need the friends to be more important, do we?
I know. I'm just trying to rationalize.
No, we need this because this is the Okay, hold on a sec. I did have to do this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here. This is just a very simple thing. And put them on. Do that, and then. Okay, that's wrong. It's fine. It's not. I'm gonna just chance it. B. How do I do this? Oh. Okay, we order this. And she decides whether buy. What's the function? That gives us the flow. I don't like buts, but I think we'll do it here. But instead of this placeholder, I just have to get it to exist. And pushing people. Let's remove that. Okay. Don't need the Iliad. Don't need that. Don't need that. Okay, then he. Still very vague. How do I do this specific thing, but without doing that? Because Achilles is another huge name. And the Iliad, and especially at this point, now you can sneak in a new noun within the framework of the villain, continue to be a villain. It's not as inorganic, but it's still a big lift.
I have a question.
I have an answer. Let's see if they match.
Order of operations. Does she graffiti before or after they don't call in the chain breaker refuses her? I thought it was she graffitied, she had second thoughts, she tried to reach out for the chain breaker. They said
she tries to get away because she sees that he represents bad stuff. The people who could help her say no, so she goes, okay, I gotta do this thing, right?
Yeah. I just, for some reason, I had in my head she was working with him, changed her mind, tried to get out of it, and then that's when she started blaming him.
That's that too. Okay. Morgan, I hope you're happy seeing that word. Let me just. There you go. There's your happy place, Morgan.
I was actually enjoying it. I was just curious.
Yeah. Do you have any idea how if I don't type that?
I saw it. I was lingering my eyes on it when you brought it to everyone's attention.
So what you might not know, people who are watching this do this. I wrote a guide. I read 432, I think, successful queries that were complete. Which I mean, they had the bio, they had the pitch, they had the comps, they had everything. Nothing was left out. I read these for passive verbs, and I discovered, because I've recorded every passive verb, because hi, have you met me? There were 3 types of passive verbs in queries. Murder is one of them.
Oh.
So for me to use murder as not a passive verb, and not even a noun, but a modifier, is
beautiful.
I'm so happy that you have this moment, Morgan, that you can be so joyous, because here I am trying to think of something, a noun that is so bad that it will make murderous worse. And the only thing I could think of is completely unusable.
Oh no.
Would you like to hear how bad this is?
Okay.
I would like to preface this by saying this is a bad idea, and I'm not going to use it because it's bad for two obvious reasons. I'm going to say the word with the modifier, just so you can enjoy how bad this is. And then we'll discuss why it's totally unusable. Murderous she-villain. Completely not happening.
Yeah, no.
You cannot use that. Number one, she-villain is disgusting. Villain has no gender. Number two, she-villain is very sort of cutesy in a sort of like 14-year-old girl suddenly embracing her dark side type thing. This isn't that, right?
The next murderous antagonist?
See, I can't go murderous villain because it's redundant.
That's why I said antagonist.
Yeah, but antagonist. Oh. There we go.
Wait, we already used the word great villain.
We're repeating it.
Okay, we can repeat.
Parallel.
Oh, if it's parallel, we can repeat a modifier.
If you human of verb murderousing proportions. See, that's my verbs coming at you in your throat. Oh, there you go.
Do you want to say a great villain with her family as her first victim?
That gets squishy with the stakes.
Right, yeah.
Stakes to be a defined area. And if we agree, are you saying you want to infuse great villain into outsmart him, that area?
Oh, okay. We can separate them out.
It's doable. It would require reconstructive. Well, that's what we're here for.
Instead of after the rest of her family, could we have like a verb?
Send is a verb, but yes, we can. Actually.
Send her to do horrible things.
Oh, that's a terrible verb. Do you kidding me, lady? Although it does match your always using.
It was a bracket. It was a bracket where we were going to brainstorm exactly what the
concept. I thought you were actually.
No,
I should have known that anything with a modifier was concept language we edit out in post. Okay. By the way, I keep saying that it's my thing tonight. I don't know why. We don't have post production. I don't have that kind of time. Morgan doesn't have that kind of time. She would have to do so much to make me fully and consistently intelligible, and no, that would
nobody got that.
Okay, what do you say here? It sounds like a duck. No, I was talking about my aunt, Rosamond there. No, I'm not gonna tell you what I was saying because I don't want to say it. I don't want to bother with this. Sorry, I'm going through a tunnel now. Bye. Which is funny because I work from home. Anyway, if you have an idea,
Roy.
If you have an idea, I used it now to get your attention. Good, it worked. Morgan, if you have an idea for how to do this better with villain or whatever, put it here.
Maybe to destroy. And we got the plot elements from Katie. So let's see. For Reverie, we have.
Put them in. I don't care. I just need the nouns.
That's not what I typed, but apparently it is. Okay.
I wonder.
There we go. Katie, does that match?
Hold on, I'm looking at something else. My favorite pattern. What's yeah, that's tolerable. What is footy and home? I should look that up. I normally don't look much at the stake at the comps because I don't know comps at all. That's not it. I have to. Oh, this one. Okay. Uh-huh. I'm seeing All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody.
And C.L. Herman.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
All of Us Villains.
There we go.
Okay, I don't know if Foodie and Herman is how that's done, because that's not.
I don't think so.
I just don't know. So this is where I trust that you know it, because comps, every genre of book, an animated book, is an ocean, and I would drown. There are people who get paid specifically to know, okay, this is what this book is, and that is not me.
Okay, so here's the cover. I am just gonna go ahead and, instead of ampersand, put an and in there, just because.
Hasn't Riley Sal won awards?
It's a New York Times bestseller, an indie bestseller, and an indie next pick. It's a blockbuster co-writing debut. I wasn't checking the other one. I'm sorry.
It's a debut. That's the important thing. Okay. I saw it. I thought I had seen more stuff by him. Maybe that was just in my one of my groups. He probably. Let's see if this is. That?
Who is Reverie by? Let me see. La Sala.
It's possible that I saw a podcast of him talking to somebody else, and that's why. Anyway, so that's.
Right.
You're chopping. Can't understand you.
Okay.
Okay. I think. Or maybe it's just you're silent.
I don't think they're too big, but then again, maybe I'm not paying attention to the right markets.
I think you're okay now.
Has a movie been made of either of them?
That doesn't necessarily kill them.
It doesn't, but it makes it harder. Okay, good. She said no.
Here's the fun. I have seen agents be like, you can't do movies on the same. I've told this story about Coraline, right, to you on stream?
Yes.
Okay. For people who haven't heard it, why did I even ask the question? I read an article in which multiple agents talked about what they look for and expected in comps, and they were all different, which, whatever. I mean, that's no longer surprising. But one of them said, don't comp a huge book by a huge author, especially if it's made into a movie. That hour, I saw a query comp Coraline. And that was, to me, the ceiling element of comps are accountable. Every agent has their own rules. Yeah. And they are completely welcome to do that, because that is them using information in a way they've figured out makes money for writers. That's what we want, okay? Yeah. Now, we might not like the different approaches, but the business side of the business is them knowing how to make you money. This is a good thing.
My general rule of thumb, even though they say all good comps are within the last 5 years and by less than well-known but recognizable authors and whatever, is if I have 2 comps, I'll do my best to make sure one of them definitely fits to show that I know the market. And then the other one might be a movie. The other one might be older, you know.
I've seen it.
The other one might be totally out of bounds. But as long as I feel like as long as one of them shows I know the current market, the other one can be anything I want. And Twitter pitches, if Twitter still exists.
Unrelated. Couldn't be less.
The bigger the name, the better it does.
You don't need to have anything recent or You can comp Romeo and Juliet, Waiting for Godot, and A Farewell to Arms, and do just fine.
Yeah.
Because
The
rules
bigger
are different.
name, the better you do, actually, in which
Because
party.
people understand it better, right?
Yeah.
If you did Frankenstein times Beverly Hills 90210,
Mhm.
that would get a lot of people interested.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it already. It's just, imagine some clique turning, that's very upset. I should not even do this. I don't need more book ideas. Imagine a clique that is very upset about their friends dying of fentanyl overdoses and reanimated them using other parts too.
It's related, but not quite like iZombie, where you have who was it?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of something else.
I need to do the workout. That's what I was doing. 214. That's actually amazing for how much of this there is now. Okay. All right, Katie, your mission, if you choose to accept it, and it would be nice if you did. But read through this and read through it as you go through. Italicize things you don't love. Do not stop to fix anything. Just keep going, italicizing as you go until you're done. Okay? Once you're done, we'll look through the stuff you italicize and fix it. Make sense? Not if you, never mind. You just said okay. Okay, good. All right. So, because I think we're pretty, usually we have to do a chop or two, but 214 is pretty good.
Yeah.
And 88,000 for 214 is pretty solid.
Do we need to list that this is her debut novel at the beginning?
No, never. No.
Yeah. The only time you mention it is if it won awards, and it's already out.
I think you would even. Oh, we need to staple on the "May I send you blah blah" because that's now a thing.
Oh, this is more about the story. And
I would actually put that up with the.
That's in the state or stats.
Yeah, with the meta. Yeah.
Anything about?
I would no. I would actually put it not quite there. I'll
okay.
I have an idea. Hold on. That's it. Just put it back so I can place it. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry.
Now,
I thought you were going to direct me.
No, I was trying to, but okay.
I'm faster on the mouse draw.
Okay, visiting. Do you like that? If I spell visiting correctly? Yeah, second mortgage is probably not good, but it was a concept anyway. So. She liked it. Hooray! Hey, Mikey, you liked it.
Me. That was me.
You.
Sorry,
Morgan.
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Sorry, Katie.
That's great. Thanks, Morgan. There's a bit out of the Donnie and Marie variety hour, which lasted way too long. But by the end of it, they were not young anymore, and they were tired of it. And the thing, Donnie was this perpetually nice guy, and Marie's thing, I think they told her to do it, and she actually kind of liked it a little bit, was to just insult him all the time. Michaela's not impressed. Yeah. And so here we go. That's cute, Marie. Because he couldn't actually say knock it off. But I think he was
Katie
really tired.
says, no, it's good. I actually had visiting before, so she's on board.
Hooray! All right, we gotta fix these things.
They're 5. Okay.
Oh, are we doing a thing? All right, I am now positioned appropriately.
There you go. Okay. Good job. Good job.
That was like my 5-year-old doing high five. I placed my hand.
I was excited.
Yeah. All right, so we had to fix driving yourself to a school function and second mortgage. I get second mortgage because that's not how a teenager sounds at this point. Yeah. Okay. School function sounds very adult too, which makes sense because I wrote that.
Yes.
I know. There. How do you do, fellow kids?
Extracurriculars is less adult than school function. I think they're on par.
Morgan, does your age begin with a number higher than 3? Yeah. So, Katie, what do you think? I just don't want to get to track meet because it gets specific, and the more specific you get, the more people think, oh, this is going to be a thing. Otherwise, that we have grades, and well, those are examples, though. How about we forget the specific vagueness and go somewhere? I deleted that last time. I like it more. Yeah, sometimes it's conjunctions.
Is she driving herself so mom doesn't have to take off of work to take her?
We don't need that level of detail, Morgan.
I'm just like,
We don't need focus on the mother's actions.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get inside her head so I can like work my way out.
Yeah, we can. So my up at the age words are all swearing, which would be 7 for this. I think I've told you this. My fuck count for Brianna last I checked was 147.
My current main character curses a lot more than I do.
Which is at all?
I mean,
you don't swear a lot.
Even my first word was literally "damn it."
That makes sense.
And then I didn't curse again.
But no, that doesn't. It's not a noun or a modifier, Morgan. It's an interjection. That's not your brand.
I know.
But you didn't have your brandy yet, so you were forgiven. Damn
it. I think part of it was influenced by the fact my first job was 4 summers at a amusement park. And let me tell you, the looks you get when you say, "Oh, bother," as if it were an actual curse. Hilarious.
I've lost my honey pot again. Piglet, can you hand it to me, please?
Oh,
I'm stuck in it. I'm stuck in a rabbit's hole again. Oh, I shall have to wait days and days.
Oh, it doesn't sound so dirty when you say it. Okay.
Oh. Who's stuck in the hole again? Oh, bother. That's the one voice I can do from that reliably. Rabbit just doesn't sound fun.
Do driving herself after school as a time.
That doesn't make sense, Morgan. Oh, running an errand, or is that too old?
Boom.
That lacks the.
Does it matter where she's going?
See, here's the problem. We introduced the problem before we introduced the thing she's trying, the attempted solution. It's nonlinear. What are you doing? Morgan. So, okay, just do what you're gonna do. Don't accept any of these changes yet because this is an interesting approach. Let's just say. I'm letting you drive. And you are. Go ahead. Finish your.
The sentence wasn't working, so I took it out.
We were finalizing it, you noun. Are you the otter, or are you somebody with a?
Okay. I can undo.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Si se puede. See, here's the problem. If you have,
wait. Didn't we switch tenses? Shouldn't it be present tense? Things go terribly wrong.
she's been.
Okay.
These are past tense. Yeah.
She's been doing these things, and then they
Yes.
go wrong when she totals the car.
Been going.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the problem. When you say totals the car, we don't see her trying to do something good. All we see the bad and then the bad. There's no emotional lead up of, oh, hey, look, this thing will go okay this time.
That's why I was saying if she was driving herself to keep mom from having to leave work, that was the good thing.
And then you told me it
was too much.
We don't need to pull in the mother.
Yeah.
We need to focus on what she's doing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Burden on her mother is only to get that hint of parental
right
involvement. Now, Katie, I think that's your name. Katie, good. All right. Do you like this now? This thing that I've highlighted, not the whole thing. I love what you're saying.
Do we need a somewhere? Can it just be by driving herself, period?
It feels abrupt because it is abrupt. So did Katie respond? That is an extracurricular. That's all right. I'm taking that as a semi-win. Now, second mortgage. Okay. Family from
massive debt?
That's not much better.
But less grown-up sounding.
Yeah, well, so is whatever. Never mind. It would have been nouns. Okay, how do we? The magic will work. Okay. Okay.
To keep her mother from losing her job, she
No, Morgan, stop making this about the mother.
Okay.
We don't need to be thinking about the mother's particulars. This is not about her. It's about Tana.
It's about how Tana is trying to help her family. So I keep trying to center on the family.
To be drawn into the mother's specific life elements.
Yep.
She needs to exist. We can assume that having newly lost a human who can help with things, she is not well. We don't. But again, the more focus. I've already said it. Whatever. You agreed. Okay. Oh God.
What about?
I hope that's Katie.
No, it was me.
That's tolerable. It's vague, but it's tolerable. It's placeholder at least.
Because the second half is she makes a stupid choice, and here are the specifics.
Yeah, it's not bad, which is a compliment from me, honestly.
I'm taking it.
I mean, you know that is. Because for those of you who don't, how many viewers do we have? Do I even have to explain this?
2 right now.
Oh, 2. Yeah, no.
They might be me.
They might be, yeah. They might be you and Katie, honestly. Yeah. My job is to find the problems with things and solve them. So for me to say it's not bad,
I'll take it.
Yeah, well, you know how I never compliment things. I compliment maybe 10% of queries because that's what percent are good. And this actually started out pretty good, which is why we haven't. I mean, we haven't had to rewrite a ton. We've honed things, but we haven't had to reconstruct much.
I just used 2 verbs.
204:31.
Okay. We verbed and nouned it up.
So fix things would be the car in the future is what she's unbreaking, right?
Yes.
Which makes this redundant. But we need that hit of car and future because of this.
Yeah. And it gives us the specificity we need.
Your car.
Okay. I was trying to summarize and you just drop it like it's hot.
Hey, tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, it works. And it gets rid of process language because we had this means she did this.
I don't even know if you're right, but sure, fine, whatever. If you want to win, you can take it. I'm focused on.
I'm giving you the win.
Oh, even that, I like that better. Hooray! I'm right. I think. I'm not sure if you're right. I don't care anymore.
In like Flynn, you were looking for the win.
That's from something I don't know.
It's a country song that you probably
I definitely don't know. I avoid that thing. He said
I started listening to country music when I had a commute.
It's seeping chest wound and no alternatives.
Yeah. I was commuting and my only options were NPR that had me frothing before I got out of the neighborhood or talk radio.
And you couldn't turn the radio off.
I needed something.
Morgan?
And country was the better option.
Yelling at squirrels. I mean, anyway, moving back to the land of I'm not even going to do it. It's okay. All right, let's do that. Did I fix that? Did I do that? Did I? Okay. So, Katie, I'm so glad I keep getting your name right.
Damn, because he's a devil, and now she's damned. Okay, sorry. Carry on.
That was not my goal.
I'm taking it anyway. It's fun.
I wish you every possible joy. Katie, please go through and let's actually unitalicize this. All of it.
Yeah.
Go through again and italicize anything you don't like. While I go and grab a resource that I made, I have every query in my companion that has swearing, and damn counts as swearing. Here is. It is not exhaustive, but I did get a lot of them there. This is content warning for a bunch, so.
Are there any ratios of which ones of these are YA versus adult?
I didn't check it out.
Okay,
I could, but it would, as you can see, the list of is extensive.
Yeah.
And I could do that. I don't want to.
I would delete that empty space at the end. That
I don't know what that is. Even
too.
Yeah, I was probably just.
There we go.
I was. No, I know what I was doing. I was consolidating because.
Yes.
I had used lots of space so I could focus easily on stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can say damn. I think this one is adult.
Hell, definitely. This is YA.
This is probably adult. This might be YA.
Oh, okay.
Hunky is not really a... It's some way. It's more adult.
Is it a romance? Time travel romance. Yep. hunky is in a romance.
The damn good reason for running away is 69,000. Well, that's just funny. Snow White in space. If Snow White were a cage fighting tech head with daddy issues.
Oh my.
17-year-old main characters. So probably YA.
Okay. So,
where did we go with? Where is my thing? Where did you go?
oh, did you want me to go back?
No, I'm good. On my screen, not yours.
Okay.
That's a pretty extensive. You
Okay.
can swear. There are agents who will tell you they don't like it, and that tells you. For my book, I just won't query them because no, that's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And there are agents who think that it represents weakness and like it's a tool. I'm not sure how not using a tool makes you strong. Whatever. People are not query, which is fine because the Reezy list is 665 agents, and I've seen another list with 800 something, and that's a lot. And as you go through and you look, and that's just the ones that are listed. I mean, there's lots of agencies I haven't heard of. My friend Shanna has a list of 400 something agents, and it's pretty well categorized. But again, it's not every one of them. And the way to do it is to look at things that have been published recently and say, okay, acknowledgments, blah, 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 and my agent. There you go. All right. So I missed where Katie said a thing. Crap would be fine. Like, damn it. Okay, cool. Okay, good. All right. So you're happy, Katie? Your query is. I think this is pretty good. I think we have a good focus. We do have introductory plot elements that aren't repeated, but they are conceptually there because the better grades and the hours at work and the texting to the driving thing is all her trying to help her family. And that is conceptually replaced by her going along with hacks because that sort of is a transition between the doing good and the okay, I need to do something new to try to get this fixed. So I think we're good.
Yeah.
The complaint you'll get most commonly is that this is a deep nitpick. I'm not going to change anything because of the book, but there are people who will say that this right here is not actually her agency, it's her guilt. They're not completely wrong, but again, this is the book.
Yeah.
And sometimes people do this, and that's them exerting their agency. Also, she's 16.
Yeah. A lot of YA comes from I'm put in these circumstances and then I take agency that I didn't have in the beginning, and that's part of the growth cycle.
All right. Katie, you have anything else you want to look at with this? I think we got your first page. The concepts that I marked up here are common things to fix. If your critique group didn't see them, I would look for other people. But I don't know if you had people look at it already. Because this is, I mean, Morgan, the stuff I marked is not hard, right? Pretty standard.
Yes, but also rampant in my writing.
Your nano writing or your regular writing?
I'm not sure.
That's terrifying. He said politely.
It's okay. I know my writing would make you cry.
But also we know that, my infuse, wording into verb is like I have an entire free square. I have a bingo card that's all free squares.
Yeah.
And the word infuse is a free square.
Yeah.
Well, no, but also when I read fantasy, I see fancy verbs.
Yeah.
I see fancy everything because that's the genre. And Rand, like, there are ways you could do it well, but this isn't one of them. You can have a character who speaks like that, and that's fine. Just do it well. But speaking and that it's like writing somebody who is lazy. It's very hard to do well. Stoned would be the effect you get more often.
I can see that.
But lazy is still hard to do well because not caring, and then you can't show that you're not caring.
Yeah.
Anyway, Katie, you have anything else you want us to look at?
We have 10 minutes, and I have bad news. I have to go at midnight.
You poof into a pumpkin?
Yeah, because you want to know what I'm doing Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at my day job?
Not sleeping at home? Not taking naps at home?
Hours of training that is a walkthrough of how to do things in a particular piece of software, where if I get distracted for 2 minutes, I miss 3 steps and have to ask the instructor to go back. With 8-minute breaks every hour or 2.
This sounds like terrible.
And I can't have my appointment with my ADHD doctor to see if we can up the meds for something that actually works until Thursday because I'm in all-day training.
I'm just gonna say that that level of
this training.
You asked for this training.
I didn't realize it was going to be 8 hours a day for 3 days.
I'm okay. So part of my job is to read about HR situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
No.
We do have an hour for lunch. I mean,
that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that doesn't matter because is it gatekeeper or bottleneck or some? There's a term for how bad this is, and it's specific to this kind of thing where you have to pay attention the whole time. Because there's ways to scavenge through your building, and so that if you did miss those 3 steps, there'll be an activity that you'll do where someone will say, "Here, you do this and this," and that's where you find out. Oh, when I was imagining Catechus running away, never coming back because my friend hates cats, this is what he covered. Okay.
I had to put my message as like the coffee sign that people use for like bio breaks, and I came back and was like, "Hey, my cat just like scratched up my roommate when he escaped. Could you please go over what I missed?" And he did, and he went through it really quickly. But yeah.
See, I would never mind. It doesn't matter what I do instead because that's not the work.
It's rough, and so anyway, I need my beauty sleep.
That's sure. There's nothing I should say there. Really.
Thank you so much, Katie, for sharing your story with us. It sounds super fun, and best of luck in the query trenches.
Yeah, if you do this stuff to the first page,
to the whole novel.
Yeah, that's the reason I don't ask for much, because anything you do on the first page, you're doing every other page, and that's not to be mean. It's just we've done this stuff, and if you're sharp as stuff,
Patrick, that's my voice.
Modulate. Anyway, but if you want more stuff for us in the group, just holler. I'm happy to look at another page, another draft on the first page when it's we think it's ready again. But again, a good group will find all that stuff and more.
Now I need to start trying to make sure I notice it when I'm critiquing.
I can help you with that, but I'm not sure you want me to.
I'll just add it to my checklist. But I think, although one of my critique partners says that I made an excellent developmental editor, so
okay,
that made me happy.
Okay, good for you. That's not at all this.
I know. I'm just saying, if line, at least I'm in other ways.
To be fair, I have never tried to dev edit. I've been asked to by more than one person because I do this.
Yeah. For those who are curious, developmental editing is more about the stakes and the characters and the plotting than the words.
The building of the tension over many, many, many pages. Yeah. Whereas what I do is it's not even a line edit, it's a word edit. Like, I'm not looking at the line. I'm looking at each individual phrase and how is it working. And there's value in that.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah,
it's not a dev edit, and it will never be.
Right. Yeah.
A
lot
you
of
could
people,
do it concomitant with that if
Yeah.
you wanted to sharpen the characterization of a thing.
Yeah.
It's yeah. But
a lot of people find it more useful to developmental edit before they do the line
oh
and
yeah,
the
oh yeah,
copy
absolutely,
edits.
yeah.
Because there's no reason to polish stuff you're going to get rid of.
Again, if you're going to toss it, forget it. Yeah, no.
But I'm one of those people where if you mark mine up with line edits and developmental edits, I have to do the line edits first because otherwise there's too much noise on the page.
Yeah, I can see
and
that.
I can't see the dev edits.
I wouldn't do both at once, honestly. I would make a separate document, if anything, because you have to, if you're not going to be using a scene, I'm not going to mark a verb there. And in fact, I have marked entire pages and said, I don't think you need this. And if I do that, I'm not marking the dialogue text.
I'm far more likely to find a reason to justify keeping a scene than I am to cut it.
I'm so surprised, Morgan.
I know.
You lover of excess words, keeping excess?
So there are 3 things any scene needs to do. They need to advance the plot, they need to advance the character's emotional growth, and they need to do world building. And the best scenes do all 3, but if they only do one, they're kind of weak and they might be able to get cut. But if you add another one of those elements, then you can keep it.
Even if you were kind of sweet at 93,000.
Okay, I have cut. Like my first novel was up to 131 and I cut it down to 80 and then it grew back up to like 90. But
my first draft of Brianna, 149,000. At one point I had characters. I was still learning the characters, so you have a bunch of them talking because they're teenagers. They can do that, right?
Yeah.
I think it was a 6-page argument, and I realized, okay, I can cut all but 4 lines of this. But
I might have gotten it down to a page, but I don't know if I would have done it down.
So all you need to do is sharpen the words, or you sharpen the looks.
Sharpening words. When I overwrite, that means I've said something 3 or 4 different ways, and then I get to pick the way that works best and cut the rest.
And this is especially useful. A lot of people like to say all the stuff in a draft, and that's bad. Number 1, withholding information is the job. You hate it, but it's the job. Number 2,
but when you're
people don't talk.
You need to know that.
Yes,
the reader doesn't.
But also, people don't talk in complete memories. When I talked about the verb thing, did I mention the name of the college? Was a year or how old I was? No, it wasn't a complete memory, and you can use that tendency to give bits and bits and bits, and that's part of a dev edit too. Because okay, you can actually remove this information that you don't. It isn't necessarily natural to a thought, and then give it later, and then keep on pissing the reader off by not giving them that information they want.
The best way, if you want to put an info dump in because the reader needs to know it,
find the document.
Is to have somebody bitching about something,
which is to find the document.
Because people would be like, "Oh my god, I had to do this and this and this, and oh my god, you wouldn't believe." That is very authentic. People aren't going to go through that. They're like, I got the thing done.
And even more fun is when you add in, and now you have to have this character along for the ride. And they're spilling stuff. It's great. But the problem is, you can't have that be the plot.
No.
The plot can't be, we hate this person.
No.
That can be tinging a scene.
Yeah.
But we have to endure this person, as the entire plot is very hard to pull off well.
Yeah.
Because irritation isn't a plot. Irritation is a feeling.
Yeah. Now, if they're actively working against you, or you think they're a spy.
If you keep on having car trouble, for example.
Yeah. So, thank you all for coming. Thank you for anyone who watched in the reruns. And we will be back in 2 weeks on the 28th. And I might be at 50K by then if I keep on track.
I will not be. I'm not
even close. It's okay.
That's
fine.
Will
you have more words at the end of the month than you had at the beginning?
So here's the fun.
Or are you editing?
Briefly. I am counting the words I edit
Okay.
because I can.
Sure.
So I am at 16,000 something, which is
Nice.
for me pretty good.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And so I'm at, let me actually tell you what I'm at 16,609. And my story is in the neighborhood of 8,000 words.
Okay.
I'm on my first massive edit of the thing.
Okay.
So if I read a page and I say, okay, I don't need to change anything, that page goes into my account.
Nice.
Because that's the work. I'm not trying to write a novel. I'm trying to write. And I have 3 kids and the oligarchy, which I was going to talk about more, but I didn't because, so by day, I do corporate pornography. And by night, I do socialism. I'm Robin Hood. No, actually, I have a Robin Hood rewrite that I don't have time to do all the way because I have everything else. It would be lots of fun.
I have a gender bent Robin Hood that
I know. You've had that for what, like 6 years?
Yeah, because I haven't decided if it's a romance or an adventure yet. So it's sitting there.
Oh, it's going to be an adventure. The whole point of Robin Hood. Okay, so Robin Hood was real. And the romance there was real. But, funny story. Scholars are pretty sure Robin Hood was gay. Because when Robin Hood starts,
So my version has Robin didn't make it home from the war, but his half sister Scarlet doesn't want to lose the lands, so they have her masquerade as Robin Hood, and Marion's totally in on it. And Marion and Scarlet,
squishy facing, yes,
squishy face.
So true story. Some law I have. We're gonna get into your bedtime. Let me see if I can find it really quick.
I got 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes.
Okay, I can do that. I think. Antonia, where are you, Antonia? Just gonna message her. There we go. Okay, hold on. I got it. Unless it wasn't her. This is not her at all. This is very not her. No, this is not her. Riddle. Kristen Riddle. Come on. Scroll. There we go. Okay. Okay. Study says Robin Hood prepared his merry men. Okay. Los Angeles Times, 1999. Don't just go away with your. This is 20 years old. Stephen Knight, professor of English literature at Cardiff University, decided Robin Hood was gay after studying 14th century ballads that are the oldest known account of his deeds. The ballads could not say outright that he was gay because of something. I can't read that.
Is that why his friend was called Little John?
I don't know. I didn't look that far in. Here is the link. Let me see if I can get it in a different browser. See if it's still. But yeah, he was probably gay. Because some law passed that in the 12th century, homosexuality was accepted, but in the 13th, the church became much less tolerant, and such people were driven underground. Robin Hood has always been portrayed as an aristocrat who became an outlaw after his land was confiscated by King John in the 1190s. I mean, there you go. It is factual to say that Robin Hood was gay. And Europe and areas in general have not remotely always been anti-queer. It is an invention brought along either by a desire to appeal more to the West or by Christianity. And I'm telling you that having researched this for 20 years, it's pretty clear. Anyway, it's Morgan's bedtime. She's going to go think of Scarlet. He said lovingly.
Thanks for hanging out with me, Patrick. It was tons of fun. Let's do this again in 2 weeks.
Have fun.
And let's raise more money for reproductive rights.
Yes.
Abortions. I can say the word.
I can say the word too. I like the word. It's fun. I'm shutting up. We're going.
Yep. Okay. See you.